Joseph Walter Jackson was an American talent manager and patriarch of the Jackson family. He is best known for guiding the careers of his children, including Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson, who went on to become international music superstars. While he played a significant role in launching the Jackson family's music careers, Joe Jackson's management style has been a subject of controversy and criticism over the years. In the late 1980s, Joseph's image as a father became tarnished as the media reported stories told by his children that he was abusive toward them. When he managed his family, he allegedly ordered each of them to call him Joseph, which contributed to several siblings having been estranged from him. He may have achieved success as a manager but failed as a father and impacted his children, especially Michael, who claimed that from a young age he was physically and emotionally abused by his father, enduring incessant rehearsals, whippings, and name-calling, but also said that his father's strict discipline played a large part in his success. Joseph admitted to whipping his children with switches and belts as punishment, but said he did not do so at random, and claimed never to have used any hard objects. Both Joe and Catherine have denied the characterization of abuse. Catherine said that the whippings and physical punishments were common back then when Michael and his siblings grew up. Other siblings, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, and Marlon, have denied that their father was abusive. This led to a split among the siblings. Despite the allegations, Michael honored his father with an annual Joseph Jackson Day at Neverland Ranch and ultimately forgave him, noting that Joseph's difficult upbringing in the Great Depression, along with his working-class adulthood, hardened him emotionally and made him push his children to succeed as entertainers. Jackson recalled from his early childhood that his father was domineering and strict, and he described himself in his memoir, The Jacksons, as a lonely child that had only few friends. Despite this, his impact on popular music and his children's success in the entertainment industry is undeniable. This has led to him winning some accolades. In 2011, he was inducted into the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame, Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame in 2014. In 2015, he was awarded a humanitarian award and received a star honoring him and the Jackson family. At the time of his death in 2018, Jackson had a net worth of $500,000, a small amount as compared to his wife, whose estimated net worth is $100 million. Michael's last will and testament listed his mother as guardian of his 3 children. His father, Joseph, received nothing from Michael's estate. Jackson filed a petition seeking an allowance from Michael Jackson's estate, stating that the elder Jackson had little in the way of income, a request he later withdrew. He reportedly lived in a $500,000 condo in a gated community in Las Vegas in his later years. Early life. Joseph Walter Jackson was born in Fountain Hill, Arkansas, to Crystal Lee and Samuel Joseph Jackson on July 26, 1928. After his parents separated when he was 12, his mother, 2 brothers, and sister moved to East Chicago, Indiana, while he moved with his father to Oakland, California. When he was 18, his father remarried, and he moved. He soon got a job in East Chicago at Inland Steel Company, but did not finish high school. While in East Chicago, he began to pursue his dreams of becoming a boxer and found success with the Golden Gloves program. While he was preparing for a professional boxing career, he met 17-year-old Catherine Screws, who also lived in East Chicago and attended Washington High School. Joe was married to another woman, but was divorced in less than a year before he started dating Catherine. Joseph and Catherine were married on November 5, 1949. In January 1950, they purchased a small 2-bedroom home. Still employed at Inland Steel, Jackson left his hopes of becoming a professional boxer in order to support his family, and began working there as a full-time crane operator. He later took a second part-time job at American Foundries in East Chicago. Joseph and Catherine went on to raise 10 children. During the early 1950s, Jackson briefly performed with his younger brother Luther Jackson in their own blues band, the Falcons, playing guitar. Despite their efforts, the Falcons did not get a recording deal and subsequently broke up after one of their members, Thornton Hudson, founded his own band in 1952. That band became a successful doo-wop group named the Spaniels. Joseph was alleged to have had a lasting extramarital affair. Catherine filed for divorce on March 9, 1973, with a Los Angeles County clerk, but she decided to drop the divorce proceedings. The following year, Joseph fathered a daughter with Cheryl Terrell named Giovanni. This led Joseph and Cheryl to a 25-year-long affair while raising Giovanni. Catherine attempted once again to divorce her husband in 1982, but again she was persuaded to drop the action. Joseph then moved to Las Vegas, with Catherine remaining at the Jackson family home Havenhurst in Encino, California. Despite living separately, they remained legally married until his death in 2018. Catherine denied rumors they were estranged. Jackson had 11 children, 10 with his wife Catherine and 1 with Cheryl. Rebe Jackson, born May 29, 1950. Jackie Jackson, born May 4, 1951. Tito Jackson, born October 15, 1953. Jermaine Jackson, born December 11, 1954. LaToya Jackson, born May 29, 1956. Marlon Jackson, born May 29, 1956. Brandon David Jackson, born March 12, 1957 and died shortly after. Michael Jackson, born August 29, 1958. Died on June 25, 2009. Stephen Randall Jackson, born October 29, 1961. Janet Jackson, born May 16, 1966. And Giovanni Jackson, born August 30, 1974. On July 27, 2015, Jackson was rushed to a hospital after a stroke and heart arrhythmia while celebrating his 87th birthday in Brazil. He was not stable enough to fly out of the country for further treatment until 2 weeks later. Upon his arrival to Los Angeles on August 11th, he was treated at the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center to correct his blurred vision following the stroke. On June 22, 2018, TMZ reported that Jackson was hospitalized in Las Vegas in the final stages of terminal pancreatic cancer. He died at a hospice in Las Vegas on June 27th. He was surrounded by his wife and surviving children. On July 2, 2018, Jackson was interred at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, near Los Angeles. Career. In the early 1960s, Joe Jackson began pushing his sons in a musical direction after they began playing around with his musical instruments while he was at work. He then first started working with Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine. Marlon and Michael eventually joined. Joseph began enforcing long and intense rehearsals for his sons. At first, the group went under the name the Jackson Brothers. Following the inclusion of Marlon and Michael in the group, their name was changed to the Jackson 5. After a couple of years performing in local talent contests and high school functions, the Jackson 5 got a color TV set after the judges awarded them second place. Joseph booked them in more professional venues, including in Chicago, and they eventually landed a gig at the Apollo Theater in New York City. On November 21, 1967, the Jackson 5 were signed by Joe Jackson to their first record contract with Gordon Keith, owner and first president of Steeltown Records. The group's first single, Big Boy, with Michael as the lead singer, was released by Steeltown on January 31, 1968. Big Boy did not become a hit, but because the brothers actually had a single released, they became local celebrities in Gary after it received some airplay on local Gary radio stations. Within the year, Jackson helped to land his sons an audition for Motown Records. The Jackson 5 received a record contract with Motown in March 1969. Shortly after, Joe Jackson moved his family to the Los Angeles area. The group received nationwide attention after their first single for Motown, I Want You Back, hit #1 following its release on October 7, 1969, and included on their first album, Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5, in December 1969. The group saw the release of their first 3 albums and their first 4 singles, I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There, reach #1 in the U.S. within 10 months. In 1974, wanting to reassert his control, Jackson had his family, including daughters Rebe, LaToya, and Janet, performed at casinos and resorts in the Las Vegas area. Joseph had also formed his own record label, Ivory Tower International Records, and signed artists under his management, in which they toured internationally with the Jackson 5 as opening acts in 1974. In 1975, the group left Motown Records and signed a contract with Epic Records, with the exception of Jermaine, who remained at Motown as a solo artist. Jermaine was replaced in the group by brother Randy. Michael also had a separate deal with Epic to release solo albums. Unbeknownst to Joe Jackson or the group, Motown president Berry Gordy had copyrighted the group's name, the Jackson 5. This came to light as the group was signing its new contract with Epic Records, and Gordy refused to allow them to use the name the Jackson 5 with their new label. The group renamed themselves the Jacksons. In 1978, Joseph's youngest son Randy released his solo single, How Can I Be Sure, on Joseph's record label. In 1982, Joseph established Janet Jackson's career as an actress and as a recording artist while managing her. He financed the recording of Janet's first demo and arranged a recording contract for her with A&M Records. While the group enjoyed much success, tensions eventually led to them firing Joe Jackson as their manager. Joe Jackson was known for his strict and disciplined management style, often credited with shaping his children's talents and propelling them to success. May he rest in peace. Thank you for watching. Click on the bell notification button and subscribe for more content like this.